Hey guys, it's me again, Eric here at Mountaintop 9, and I just wanted to do a quick follow-up. I wanted to extrapolate on some thoughts that I had yesterday. Remember how I uploaded an unboxing video and I showed off Trick or Treat and I gave some thoughts on it? I gotta tell you guys, when I do these types of videos, these unboxings, when I talk about each movie, I don't have time to go super in depth on each film and really expound on my thoughts and views about each particular film, because if I went too in depth, those videos would be like an hour and a half long, 2 hours long. They already are kind of long as it is. So I don't really get to like flesh out a lot of my thoughts on each film. But one thing I noticed in the comments already about Trick or Treat is some people, because I was so brief in my statements, they're not really getting the full, my full reasoning. So I just wanted to expound on something here. The reason I say that Trick or Treat would have been a better movie, in my view, if it had a little bit more blood and violence, is because I feel like I still remember the first time I saw Trick or Treat on the video store shelf back in the early to mid 90s was the first time I ever watched the movie. And I was attracted to the concept right away. I mean, here you've got the whole idea of the backmasking, hidden messages on heavy metal albums, which back then to me as a kid, that was a really attractive idea. That was really a forbidden thing, just a really cool concept. I liked stuff like that as a kid. And so, I wanted to watch this movie. And I felt like the cover, it had kind of a dark, sinister cover. The Sammi Curr character, he's very dark and sinister looking. You have the scenes in this movie where he's sitting in that burning room as people are burning behind him, and he's just sitting on the floor chanting. So he's a very evil, satanic character. And here's my thing. I just wish, for me, the movie would have been better if they would have leaned a little bit more into that aspect of the movie, since they've got so much of that kind of a dark feeling going on. Let's put it this way. You know that scene where Sammi Curr is up on stage in front of all those kids and the Fastway song is playing, and that's a really cool song. Trick or Treat's got a cool soundtrack. And anyway, then he takes his guitar and he starts shooting like electrical currents at the people in the crowd. And what happens? They fucking basically just they disappear into nothing, okay? And clothes just fall to the ground, okay? It's kind of like in an old video game, when you'd kill a character in a video game, how they would just disappear, okay? It's just kind of, to me, that scene would have been so much cooler. And deep down, you're fucking lying if you say this isn't true. The movie would have been cooler if the Sammi Curr character was doing stuff where when he shot those electric currents at him, if their eyeballs popped right the fuck out of their eye sockets and you saw blood streaming down their face, or, just something really cool. Something more showing the reaction bodily of the mayhem that Sammi Curr is dispensing. It would have been so cool if the things he was doing had some kind of bloody effect, some kind of violent effect. It just would have been a more powerful scene. And that's kind of my biggest example, is that scene right there. That always bothered me. Ever since the first time I saw the movie back in the early 90s, that scene where Sammi Curr is shooting those currents out of his guitar and the people just fucking disappear. I don't like that. That's why, for me, that's just one of the reasons why I say the movie's good, in my opinion, but not great, okay? Is because I feel like it could have leaned into a more violent angle, and that would have fit with the themes in the movie. It would have fit with the Sammi Curr character. He's this dark, sinister character. So it would have been so much cooler if he was making people's heads fucking explode, or if he was throwing out some kind of sound waves that just cut the head right off their body and you saw blood shooting up, or like I said, their eyeballs exploding out of the sockets. Can you imagine how cool that would have been in a movie like Trick or Treat? Would have been badass. But see, I listened to some of the special features on here, and the people that made this movie, they didn't want to go the gore route, okay? They didn't want to go that route. Well, to me, that's to the movie's detriment, in my opinion. I think this movie could have benefited from more, bodily violence. Some movies don't need it, okay? I was talking about a movie last night in that unboxing video, Hell Night. That movie doesn't need a lot of blood and gore, because it's just more atmosphere is that movie's strong suit, suspense, tension. This movie's got a lot of razzle-dazzle in it. It's got a lot of shit going on in it. And in addition to that, you got the sinister satanic character. What better movie for some blood, for some gore? Now, you know deep down, anybody, even if you love this movie, you know the movie would have been even more kick-ass if in that scene when Sammi Curr's on stage, if he starts dispensing with some bloody mayhem in the crowd, instead of just poof, they're gone. They disappear into thin air. So see, that's my point. So that's an example to you there. Think of a movie. That's why I mentioned Evil Speak in the video I made yesterday. That's why I said in Evil Speak, when that character, he goes around beheading the people, and there's just scenes of bloody carnage in that movie, and it fits with the satanic theme of the movie. It fits. It goes with it. It goes really good with it, and that's why Evil Speak is such a cool movie in my estimation. So I just feel like that's just a drawback for me. But like I said, guys, I don't dislike Trick or Treat. I like this movie. I think it's a good movie. It's just got some flaws, in my opinion. That's why I said I give Trick or Treat 2.5 stars out of 4. It's a good movie, but there are things about it that if I had my way, would have been better. And I just gave you a very good example. That scene with Sammi Curr on stage. Just in my mind's eye, I can see how that would have been like epic had they done that differently. But it is a good movie. And the thing about Black Roses, why I like Black Roses better, even Black Roses isn't this like super gruesome violent movie either, but Black Roses doesn't have the overall kind of image that Trick or Treat does either. That's the thing you got to understand. Black Roses never has like this really overtly sinister cover that lures you in, and doesn't have like the dark, sinister villain that Trick or Treat has. Trick or Treat promises a lot with this sinister character of Sammi Curr. He's a very dark, ominous figure. That's why I think, some more scenes of bloody violence would have fit better in this movie and would have helped this movie a lot more. But yeah, guys, so I hope that kind of fleshes out my thoughts about Trick or Treat. Like I said, everyone should have this release. This is a good movie, and it's just packed to the rim with special features. So I do like the movie. I just feel like it could have been cooler. It could have been a better movie. So anyway, guys, those are my updated thoughts about Trick or Treat, just fleshed out for you. And I'll be seeing you guys again real soon. I've got some more reviews to shoot today, and I've got lots more of those unboxing style videos to do because I've got stacks of movies to go through. I like to try to, like I said, select them and have fresh perspectives and takes to give on each movie as I show them off. But anyway, guys, I'll be seeing you again really, really soon.